Put your hands together for Anyanwu! And his opponent from Ocean County, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Zoo in the blue and red, all black for DeBlass.
Yeah, don't let him.
With sponsor for Lanks.
Baby, good. Mumbling inside control here.
Again, Zoo being traditionally an MMA fighter, stepping up to take this fight, man. But his MMA kind of gives you that. I hate calling it anti-jiu-jitsu, but allows you to defend jiu-jitsu fairly well if you're decent at the grappling end of it. DeBlass was in MMA for a long time. Had a great career in MMA, so he's used to this sort of style. Pushing forward again, DeBlass out of owner-operator of Ocean County Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Zoo out of MPR Endurance.
Head up on that.
DeBlass all black, red and blue for Zoo. Again, United Grapplers Association 2015 main event. DeBlass going to sit, stand back up, pushing forward. IBJJF rules, pushing back towards Zoo. Again, we're right in the backyard of DeBlass too. Taking center, back in the middle. Wrist control for Zoo. Sits half guard for DeBlass. Good wrist control by DeBlass. He's got both hands on Zoo's single hand. And pushing on the head, circles that leg out. Actually had the pleasure of training with DeBlass, and he's almost like he creates this impassable frame from half guard. See if Zoo comes forward here. DeBlass seated. Waiting for Zoo to attack. Zoo almost, wants to be very careful coming into the guard of DeBlass. Again, no heel hook. It's IBJJF rules, so points immediately involved here. No heel hooks. Half guard for DeBlass. Zoo on top. Zoo's got that right arm kind of fishing through, holding on to that top leg of DeBlass. 10-minute round here.
We're going to take that right arm.
Zoo's got that hip flattened back, and I assume it's to try to create or stop DeBlass from being able to get that underhook. That underhook with the right arm. Oh, now he's got a body lock now, DeBlass. Body lock, and he's got the half guard. What he's going to try to do is get the weight of Zoo, who's a big, strong guy with good base and balance. So he's going to try to get the weight of Zoo on top of him, okay? He's going to try to get that weight on top of him so he can get underneath him. It's going to be much easier to move a guy like Zoo if you're completely underneath of him rather than try to fight against his base. And he's doing a good job. See, with Zoo's hip is flattened out like that, so DeBlass is going to slowly bear hug and work that leg, use his legs to work himself underneath of Zoo. So just because Zoo's hip is flattened out doesn't mean DeBlass can't get underneath of it. It's just going to take a little more work, that's all. And he's got that lockdown or that scorpion position with his legs. That's where he's got kind of the opposite half guard with the foot hooking underneath of Zoo's leg. And you see him bear hugging here. I've also seen knee bars from here. He could sweep from here, he can knee bar from here, but I've seen knee bars from this position. Yeah, it looks like he's going to look to come out to his elbow. DeBlass is going to come up to his elbow and try to sweep. Now he uses that to get underneath, the arm underneath. Zoo immediately sprawls the hips back down. No points administered yet, swings them hips. Again, DeBlass is slowly just getting underneath the base of Zoo. Much easier to move a man like that underneath of him.
Yeah, you still got it. Listen, we got it.
Now Zoo's kind of flat on that hip now. One big hip bump by DeBlass, and he's going to come out on top. He can get up to his elbow. He might be able to beat that hip of Zoo. Zoo doing a good job of keeping that hip flat for now. Half guard.
UGA.
Looking to hook that leg under again with DeBlass. So Zoo's knee is kind of starting to pop out. So DeBlass is going to immediately make sure he gets back to controlling that full leg. Sits out, look for him to sweep that leg right out from under. Now he's got control of that leg. Zoo pushing away on the head and uses it to come underneath. Now look for DeBlass to come back towards Zoo. Come out on top, running right out of bounds. Whew. Big Zoo, DeBlass, work hard for that. Work hard for that. I imagine you're going to start from the feet again. Advantage is going to go to DeBlass. A little more mat. He might have ended up on top of that. Advantage DeBlass. Starting back from the feet. DeBlass going to sit. Again, Zoo's very careful when he enters back into the guard of DeBlass. You don't want to just kind of haphazardly immediately try to pass. You're going to end up in an awkward position. Picks his feet up and kind of tosses. No real threat. Zoo, wrist control.
Up and down a little bit. Remove him.
Again, Zoo's a little hesitant and just walking into the guard of DeBlass. DeBlass seated. He's trying to get ankle control here. DeBlass trying to slide the hips in to catch. DeBlass working him slowly across the mat. Zoo from that standing position. Zoo tries for a pass. Ends up in the half guard of DeBlass. Underhooked.
Hey, we can windshield wiper over that leg that's on the bottom.
Underhooked again, man. DeBlass has this
Windshield wiper your ankle over on top of the
incredible
shin.
frame that he creates from the outside. So when Zoo's passing, watch or attempting to pass, watch DeBlass's top leg come over, and again come inside, come outside, whatever it has to do to create that frame. And again, I assume that DeBlass is going to work to get back underneath of him.
Yes, hey, we got it. Hey,
up on the shoulder.
Those little small battles we need right there.
Goes to shoot underneath.
Use that left arm.
Again, body lock by DeBlass from the bottom position.
Pummel that arm in.
DeBlass on the bottom, all black. Ocean County Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu on top. Zoo.
Looking to get that knee out.
Zoo out of endurance. Again, we're at United Grapplers Association 2015 Fall Open main event.
Remember, we want to try to keep it flat here.
Brought to you by Dolomar Mats, Princeton Brain and Spine, KMHNL, Attorneys at Law. Great event here. And what a way to top it off with this main event.
Let's keep pummeling. Let's keep working that.
DeBlass on the bottom, half guard position. Talented top, bottom.
If he's not working for that underhook.
Very, very well rounded is DeBlass from this half guard position. 2:45 left. Again, up one advantage to none is DeBlass.
Good, Zoo. That's it. We work on
Zoo on top. Again, DeBlass trying to get underneath.
We're staying underneath of those arms.
See if he tries to get that right arm under again.
Get the hips, under hips off.
Trying to
That's
slide
it. I like what you're doing with that knee.
That knee out is Zoo.
Slide that through.
Zoo Anyanwu again out of endurance. Tom DeBlass, owner operator. Ocean County Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, black belt under Ricardo Almeida. Now he's underhooked now. Again, now he was able to sweep like this last time, where he's got good control of the hips of Zoo. Again, his base is good, so you've got to get under the hips and literally control his hips to sweep him. Knees out wide for Zoo, just kind of sitting back on the heels. And he's a big guy too. So DeBlass got to bring his weight up on top and gets a good hold of that leg. And again, DeBlass uses his legs. Push, pull to get Zoo rocking on top. Minute 20. DeBlass up, one advantage.
You can get under that arm right there.
DeBlass up on his shoulder too. He's not flattened out. He's not carrying any of Zoo's weight.
Keep sliding that through.
Trying to fight through his Zoo. Look for DeBlass to come out on top of this. He's got the wizard of Zoo. Back up to the feet. All right, here we go.
Circle. Let's pummel.
One advantage. One advantage to none.
1 minute, Zoo.
One advantage to none is DeBlass. We got a minute left. Sits guard. Sits guard. Now again, Zoo has to score here, so he's got to be the one that's active and trying to pass here. He's the one that's down. DeBlass in that seated position, so you don't want to take too much time and enter in the guard here. Unless he's looking for something. Unless he's looking for a specific pass.
That 30-second mark.
30 seconds, 30 seconds.
Happen here, all right?
Again, DeBlass, all black.
Go,
Zoo in the blue and red, 30 seconds. Looking for that pass, can end up in the half guard.
Bottom leg. Get your ankle up.
He's trying, DeBlass again. He does a good job of bringing that leg over. Still inside the guard, 20 seconds.
Again, dude, cartwheel.
20 seconds.
That's the fun here. Go for it.
Oh, what a way to end this main event here. Goes to pass again. DeBlass is so good at that, just like an invisible frame that's on the outside.
5 seconds, Phil.
5 seconds. And DeBlass gonna take this. DeBlass takes it by way of an advantage. Main event, your winner, Ocean County. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu's Tom DeBlass. United Grapplers Association.